why are you so damn moody? Has anybody ever said that to you? Well, the reason you're so moody is because of your moon sign. Okay, and so in this video, I'm going to go over what the moon's role is in astrology and how it affects you and your emotions. Okay, and so if you are new to me, to the channel, to any of my content in social media land, my name is Kkatrice and I am the Natal Chart Navigator. And I educate open-minded, ambitious, professional women on how to align with their natal charts for self-improvement and prosperity. All right. And so let's go ahead and jump into this video because we're talking about the moon today. Okay. And so the moon is the fastest moving planet in the solar system. Okay. And so it takes about 27 days or so to orbit the Earth. And so in astrology, the moon represents our emotional nature, our inner world, and our subconscious. And then it's also associated with our mother, our home, and our early childhood experiences. So that would be like daycare like phase. Okay. And so the moon's placement in your moon sign and placement in your natal chart can tell you a lot about your emotional needs, your emotional style, and how you respond to stress. Now, it can also give you insights into your relationship with your mother, your home life, and your early childhood experiences. And so, when you're looking at your moon sign, some of the things that it'll reveal in your chart is your emotional nature. The moon sign is said to represent our emotional nature, and it tells how you express your emotions, how you respond to stress, and the type of emotional support that you need. It also talks about your inner world, and it talks about your subconscious thoughts, feelings, dreams, and your intuition. Okay. It also goes into your relationship with your mother, and it can tell about your relationship with your mother, how you were mothered, and also how do you mother and nurture yourself. Okay. It goes also into your home life, and it can tell about your childhood home, your current home, and your need for security and comfort. And then lastly, it talks about your early childhood experiences. And it tells about the emotional climate of your early childhood, the type of emotional support you receive, and the type of emotional baggage that you could be carrying from your past. Okay. The moon in astrology is powerful. It is one of your big three, and its placement in your natal chart can provide you with valuable insights into your emotional nature and your inner world. Okay. And so now the moon, like I said, represents your emotional self, your instincts, and your habits. It's also associated with the subconscious mind and the need for security and comfort, and it governs the inner world of our thoughts, feelings, and memories. Okay. And so the type of emotional needs that you need is reflected upon your moon sign. And so the sign and the placement of the moon in your natal chart can tell you what type of emotional support you need. Okay. And so if your moon is in Cancer, then you may be somebody who needs a lot of emotional support from your loved ones. It can, and when you have a moon, honestly, when you have any placement in the sign of Cancer, there's a big influence on the mother and family, but particularly the mother and your relationship with her. Okay. Now, the moon also represents our emotional style, and this is how we express our emotions and respond to stress. Okay. And so a good example of this would be if your moon was in Aries, right? You're going to be somebody who directs your emotions in a who expresses your emotions in a direct and assertive way. Now, somebody with a moon in Taurus may not be so freely to, you know, talk about their emotions. They may bottle their emotions up inside until it boils over and then they explode. Okay. Um, Now, the moon is also associated with the subconscious mind. And so, this is the part of the mind that we are not consciously aware of. And so, your moon sign's placement can tell you about your subconscious thoughts, feelings, and desires. Okay. And then the need for security. The moon is also associated with our need for security and comfort. And this is the need to feel safe and to feel loved. And so the moon sign's placement can tell us about our attachment style and how we cope with stress. Okay. And so some additional thoughts on how the moon can impact our reactions to life events. So the moon phases can also affect our emotions. Okay. So an example of this would be during the full moon, we may feel more emotional and volatile. The moon sign affects our reactions to life events because the sign is how the moon's energy is expressed. Okay. So an example of this is somebody with the moon in Cancer would be more likely to feel sad and emotional about a breakup than somebody with the moon in Capricorn. Okay. And then the moon's placement in the chart can also affect our reactions to life events. So, for example, somebody with the moon in the first house would be way more likely to express their emotions outwardly than somebody with the moon in the 12th house, because 12th house is the house of endings, undoings. It's the house of places that are hidden, and so the moon's energy may be kind of like have a film over it, and so planets in the 12th house have to work a little harder to express their energies, and so that's why if your moon was in the 12th house, you would probably be more likely to keep your emotions bottled up and let them boil up and over, versus somebody in the first house, which is the house of self. Everything's on its sleeve. It's shown on its sleeve. Okay. Now, it's important to note that the moon is just one factor that can influence our reaction to life events. Okay. You do have to take into consideration the entire chart. Okay. However, the moon is a powerful planet that can have a powerful placement. That can have a significant impact, that has a significant impact on our emotional life. Okay. And so when you understand your moon sign, okay, and its significance in your chart, then you gain valuable insights into how you react to life events and how you can better care for your emotional well-being. Okay. So I'm going to go through the moon signs, so how the moon would be expressed in each of these signs. Okay. So if you are Aries moon, you're somebody who is passionate, you're self-sufficient, and you're independent, quick to act, and don't like to be tied down. But they are very protective of their loved ones, quick to react to their emotions, and they often act first and think later. This fire moons, so that would be Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. That's one thing about fire moons. They will react first and then think later. Now, if your moon is in Taurus, then you more likely are reliable and stable. You are security seeking and you value comfort and routine. Can be slow to change, and tend to be very attached to their routines and their possessions, but they are also very sensual and appreciate the finer things in life. Taurus is ruled by Venus. Now, and another thing, they can be very stubborn. Taurus moons can be very, very stubborn. Now, if your moon is in Gemini, moon and Gemini people are curious and communicative. They are always looking for new information and experiences. They're also very adaptable and they can easily fit into different situations. Gemini energy is mutable energy. And so they're always interested in learning new things and meeting new people. Now, they can be a bit restless and easily bored. And so, whenever you have a major placement in Gemini, those are the type of people who they are kind of like bouncing from one thing to another because they need that constant mental stimulation. Okay. Now, if your moon is in Cancer, Cancer is the home sign of the moon. And so, Cancer, Moon and Cancer people are emotional but very intuitive. They have a strong need for security and love, and they are protective of their loved ones. They are also very nurturing and caring. Now, they can be a bit moody and sensitive, but they are also very passionate and very compassionate and caring. Okay. Now, if you have your moon in Leo, Moon and Leo people are creative and dramatic. Okay, they love to be the center of attention and they love to be praised. Now, this is Leo energy, period, but especially more so in the moon position. Okay, they are also very generous and they love to make others happy. Can be a bit self-centered and demanding, but are also generous and warm-hearted. Now, if your moon is in the sign of Virgo, Moon and Virgo people are analytical and practical. They're always looking for ways to improve things and they are very detail oriented. Now, they can be a bit critical of themselves and others. They have a keen eye for detail and they are often drawn to helping professions, okay? Professions where they are able to serve, okay? Libra moon, if you are a moon and Libra person, then you are diplomatic and fair-minded. You value harmony and balance, and you're always looking for ways to compromise, okay? But they can also be very indecisive and may have trouble standing up for themselves because they just like peace and fairness, okay? They can be indecisive and easily swayed by others, but are also charming and popular. Now, if your moon is in Scorpio, Scorpio moon people are intense and passionate. They have a deep need to understand themselves and others, and they are often drawn to mystery and intrigue. Now, they can be secretive and manipulative, but they are also loyal and protective of those that they love. Okay. Now, if you have a moon in Sagittarius, that is me. Sagittarius moon are very optimistic and adventurous. Okay. Sagittarius moon people, like I said earlier, along with Leo and Aries, are the type to act first and think later. Especially Sagittarius, because Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, which is the biggest planet in the solar system, which is the planet of luck, optimism, expansion, growth. And so Sagittarius moon people really do believe that it will always work out in the end. They just have this uncanny optimism and they just know that even though it might look like maybe I shouldn't have did this shit, it will work out in the end. Okay. Now, they also love to travel and learn new things, okay? Now, they can be impulsive and restless, and they may have trouble settling down, and they also are generous and free-spirited. One thing about Sagittarius moon, if you got a Sagittarius moon person in your life, get ready for a ride, because you're going to have a good time. You might be wondering, why the hell did I allow them to do this? But in the end, it's going to all work out. All right, now, Capricorn moon. If you are a moon in Capricorn, these are the most ambitious and responsible people, okay? They're always striving for success, and they're very disciplined. They have a strong work ethic, and they are often drawn to leadership positions. Now, they can be rigid and inflexible, because Capricorn energy does like to do things, as tradition. It is ruled by Saturn. And it also is, the moon is in fall, in the sign of Capricorn. No, it's in detriment in the sign of Capricorn. It's at home in the sign of Cancer. It is exalted in the sign of Taurus, and it is at fall, which is like the worst placement for the moon, in the sign of Scorpio. Okay. Now, Capricorn moons can also be a bit materialistic and insensitive. They can be cold and calculating, but they are also very responsible and very reliable. Now, if your sign is, your moon sign is Aquarius, Aquarius moon people are independent and original. They are often ahead of their time, and they are not afraid to be different because they value freedom and individuality and are often drawn to humanitarian causes. They can be very eccentric, detached, and aloof, but they are also compassionate and idealistic. Now, one thing about air sign moons, especially Aquarius and Gemini, they process their feelings through their intellect. So if it doesn't make sense to feel that way, it's like they just get rid of it. They like just detach from the emotion and just move on. And then, they may revisit it again at a later date to see if it makes sense for them to feel that way. But they don't get caught up in the feeling of emotion. They feel the emotion and then go to process and analyze it and see, does it make sense for me to feel that way? Okay. Which I thought was really, really cool about that. Like that they do that. Okay. And then Pisces moon, if your moon is in Pisces, Pisces moon people are compassionate and intuitive. They are dreamy. Pisces energy in general is the dream energy, the dreamers of the zodiac. Pisces energy is a very spiritual energy. And they have a deep understanding of the human condition and are very, very empathetic. And they are often drawn to arts or spirituality. And, they can be dreamy and escapist, but they are also deeply caring and empathetic. Now, having your moon in the sign of Pisces, in any water sign, but especially Pisces, can increase your tendency for escapism via whether it's drugs, alcohol, sex, movies, whatever you do to escape from reality. It is a little more heightened when you have Pisces energy, especially moon energy, moon, sun, or if you have placements in the 12th house. Okay. Now, again, these are just general descriptions of the signs, of the moon signs. And so your moon sign, again, is just one part of your natal chart. And so you do have to look at the whole chart to get a complete picture of you. Okay. And so here are some tips for working with the moon's energy. Okay. The first thing you want to do is learn your sun sign. Okay. And this is the sign where your moon was at the time you were born. Now, you can do this one or two ways, or a couple of ways. You can do this either, you can pull your natal chart. And if you don't know how to pull your natal chart, you can go to astro.com to pull it. It is absolutely free. And in the description of this video, there will be, I have a tutorial that I'll link, and you can go there to watch it to learn how to pull your natal chart for free. Or you can go to astroseek.com and pull, like if you just want to know your moon sign, and pull your moon sign that way. Or you can Google where was the moon on my birthday and then put your birthday in, and it'll pull it up that way. Okay. But you want to find out what sign your moon was in at the time of your birth. And then you want to start learning about its characteristics, because this will give you insight into your emotional nature, your emotional style, and your needs. Okay. And then you want to pay attention to your emotional needs. Okay, so this is the first step to working with the moon's energy, and it is to become aware of your emotional needs. What makes you feel safe and secure? What makes you feel stressed and anxious? Okay, and then you want to pay attention to your emotional responses. And so as you go through your day, pay attention to how you respond to things emotionally. Notice how you feel in different situations and what triggers those emotions. And then the next thing you can do is to start looking for patterns. Okay, so start paying attention to your emotional responses, and you may start to notice some patterns. Okay, now this can help you understand why you react the way you do in certain situations, and you can also see, is that an appropriate reaction or response to that situation, or is there some things that you want to change about that. Okay, now you also want to honor your emotional style. Now once you know your emotional needs, that's when you can really start to honor your emotional style. And so that means that you allow yourself to express your emotions in a healthy way. Okay. Another thing that you want to do is find healthy ways to manage stress, because the moon is also associated with stress. If you find yourself feeling stressed, it's important to find healthy ways to manage your stress. Now, this could include exercise, journaling, or spending time in nature. And this is really where knowing your moon sign energy helps, because for me, I am a Sagittarius moon. And so when I am stressed or when I am overwhelmed, one of the things that calms me down is to get in the car and to go for a ride. Sagittarius energy is the energy of the traveler. It is the energy of the adventurer. And so getting in the car, driving, it don't matter where I go, or traveling, those are the types of things that will calm me down, okay, when I'm stressed. Okay, and so now for somebody who is a Capricorn moon, one thing that may calm them down when they're stressed is working or being productive. Okay, so once you know your moon sign and you really start learning the characteristics of your moon sign, that's when you can start using that energy to find healthy ways to manage your stress. Okay, and then the last thing, but really most important, is to be patient with yourself. Okay, because it takes time to learn about your moon sign and how it affects you. And so be patient with yourself and don't get discouraged if you don't understand everything right away. And that's not just for learning your moon sign. That is just for with astrology, period. When you first get into it and you're first learning all of the signs and the symbols and everything, the houses, the aspects, all of that, you definitely want to be patient with yourself, because as you're learning, you may not know how to start right away, how to start incorporating that energy into your life. Okay, but just keep going, just keep learning, keep coming back, watching my videos, keep pulling up your chart, do your own research. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that you can search out on the internet as well. And then if you have a question about it, you can come here on the channel, you can ask me a question, and answer the question, you get your answer, you go from there. But you have to be patient with yourself. It takes time for you to learn you and to really get in sync with you. But once you do, it's like smooth sailing. Okay, smooth sailing from there. Now, if you have not gotten the 3-step framework that I created on how to become energetically synced with your natal chart, you definitely want to grab that. It is absolutely free. And it's a practical guide designed to help you align with the cosmos for your personal growth and increased prosperity. And so you can get that. The link will be in the description of this video. You can go to my link tree, and it's free ebook. Okay, and so please, if you found value in this video, please do give it a thumbs up and also share it out so that other women may find value as well. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. So let me know what insights did you take away from this video. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead, drop them in the comments, and I do go back and answer all questions, okay? And so that is it for this video. And so until the next video, remember, possibilities are endless. If you can see it in your mind, then you can definitely hold it in your head. And that should make you smile, because you really do create your own reality. Have a good one.